an Android, just go to the respective store, search Zingo TV, download it today. Also, while you're at it, download the BarnBurner app as well. You see him? Welcome to the Spider's Web. We're bringing the nitty gritty back to the city. And Spider, I'm going to start right away because, Spider, I know you're a little bit older, but are you making your in-ring return? Like Evander, the real deal, Holyfield, Mike Tyson looks amazing. All these guys are coming back. I want you to announce to the world that Spider Jones is making his in-ring return.
Never going to happen. Listen, I never fighters. I was a rank amateur. No, I'm never coming back again, man. The fight game's too tough for me. But I got to tell you something. Apparently, what's his name? Mike Tyson is bringing the nitty gritty back. Word is out there that not only Mike Tyson's coming back, but Evander Holyfield's coming back, and now I'm hearing Shannon Briggs is coming back. I mean, it's all over the internet. I have no inside track on the night he spoke with these gentlemen, but I did watch Mike Tyson, and it's all over the internet. A video of him. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to meet him anywhere.
Mike Tyson, let's first start off with Mike Tyson here. Arguably, Mike Tyson, when he was in his prime, when he hit you, you got hit by a truck. Now, I believe 53 years old, and the way he's practicing and throwing combinations there and everything like that, doesn't matter if it's 53, 63, or 83. I don't think you want to step in the ring with him.
Here's the first thing people have to understand. In boxing, the first thing that goes is your reflexes, your legs. But the last thing you generally go is your power, which is why George Foreman won the title at 45, recaptured the title at 45. That's why Archie Moore, when we talk a little later on about some of the greatest comebacks in boxing history, Archie Moore was well in his 40s when he came back to knock out Yvonne Jarrell, the Canadian light heavyweight champion, with the head of the fighter. Look, Tyson still has that tremendous power. He said right now, and we'll see what he says, I'm unstoppable. And I can tell you, if you fight Mike Tyson now, yeah, he's 53 years old. But I tell you what, you are going to be the eye of the storm. I don't know for how long that would last. But at 53, he certainly isn't going to be the fighter he was at 20, 21, 22.
And let's face it, when he comes in at 53 years old, where do you position him? He's got to have some matches to build up his stamina and to see where he can go at 53 years old. So where do you position him? Is he at a top 10 right off the bat, or do you start him at maybe 25?
I don't think he won't be ranked at all when he first comes in, but he could probably still be the most, I would say, probably the largest attraction in boxing right now, just because of his name alone and because of what Mike Tyson stands for. But no, from what I understand, this will be an exhibition. At one time, they suggested that he would fight maybe cross-fight the UFC or some other title experience. But no, he's not going to do that. I read that he is not. Mike Tyson loves the fight game. He said he would never do that. That was just a certain that he wants to fight a fighter. But listen, the top 10 guys, he's not going to go to them. If he can get a shot, if he can get in shape with a couple of guys, then he'll maybe want to get a shot against a guy like Powell or Tyson Fury. Will these guys take it? The money's right. It's a game full of Tyson Fury idolized Tyson. And so I don't know if that'll ever happen. We can see he's not the only one. I mean, Shannon Briggs is a big guy. This guy's had Shannon Briggs, tremendous power. This guy had 36 first He's coming back. Evander Holyfield is coming back. He's going to have a fight.
We'll talk about him too. Yeah.
Evander's always been in good shape. And I mean, there are people that would, I think we lost on their here. We lose each other.
No, I can hear you. I can hear you.
But you can't see me.
I can see you. I can.
I can't see you, but.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. So let's talk about Mike Tyson for 1 second here. Okay, what if he picks up a win, 2, 3? Isn't that, and Holyfield also, isn't that what boxing needs? Because nobody is talking about boxing now. Everybody's talking UFC or wrestling. Nobody, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, the fight game is non-existent. They got James Wilder and they got Tyson Fury, and Mayweather. Whenever somebody wants to throw him billions of dollars, he'll come back. But the fight game now, it's exactly what they need with Tyson, Holyfield coming back.
Well, absolutely. I mean, everybody's talking about whether they think it's going to happen or whether we've got not just boxing fans, but we have people outside the fight game. Mainstream population is discussing this. I hear it all the time. I've got a lot of calls or people stop you. Hey, what do you think about Tyson coming back and he's going to fight Holyfield? Look, I don't have an inside track here. I just know what I read now. I've been like everybody else, social distancing myself. But it got the world talking about Mike Tyson coming back. But to be honest with you, at 54 years old, how serious do you change this?
Yeah, we're having a little bit of trouble hearing you now. I don't know if you see my gorgeous face, but anyways, having trouble hearing you. But we'll continue on.
Can you hear me now?
It's faint. It's a little bit faint there. We heard you up until like 2 minutes ago. I heard you loud and clear. So I can hear you, but it's faint.
Hold on a second. Let me just go up here once in a while and see. I'm at 100%. So I can't do any better now.
Okay. So let's go. Okay, so let's turn our attention from Tyson to Holyfield. Holyfield, a little bit older, a little bit more, from what I saw, a little bit more sharper.
Let me just say one thing first of all. Remember, Mike Tyson has not fought in 15 years. Evander Holyfield, I believe his last fight was about 5 or 6 years ago. Last fight, 9 years ago. So, I mean, that in itself, when you got now Holyfield's older than Tyson. I mean, I think Holyfield's about 56 years old. We're talking
57.
In Jurassic.
But you know what? To be honest, 57 and 53, 100 years old together. So, or maybe 110. But here it is. If you get in the ring, who are you more scared of, Holyfield or Tyson at that age?
I'm always going to be scared of both of those guys. I mean, listen, those are warriors. They're warriors. Now, Tyson hits so hard. He's now building down. This guy's got that power. Remember what I said? Power is the last thing to go on a fighter. Tyson's going to be dangerous. Holyfield, this guy's pure warrior. He knows how to fight on the inside, the outside. He's just a great fighter. Now, this fight will appeal to people because of the last 2 fights. I think Tyson would love to fight him and defeat him once because of the controversial ending of the last fight, the year situation. So I think he would. They've become friends now. That's always haunted Tyson. He would like to fight him. And I believe, even if he's fighting in 1 round, I believe that people will pay to see them. I also believe that it cannot be an exhibition, as they suggest. I think still. I just think under the surface, there may be, Tyson would like to beat this guy fair and square on that. Now, Shannon Briggs is somewhere in the picture. He's coming back. He's younger than these guys. And this guy's got a lot of power too, but he's not the name they are. He's a world champion a couple of times. So, I mean, forever.
So, Spider, let me ask you this, okay? So let's say the match is made around December in Vegas. Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. Who you got? And now considering 57 and 53.
It's hard for me to say. I think I would have to say Evander. Yeah, I just think he knows how to fight. He knows how to fight. He just knows how to fight. He knows how to survive. That's what I think. But that's just mine.
And if Tyson wins, does it diminish? Because now, let's face it, Holyfield's 57 years old.
Well, I don't know. In my eyes, there's only a 3-year difference. Isn't it? How old's Tyson again? 56?
53 and 57.
Good difference. But Evander's always stayed in shape. Mike was out of shape for a while, but he's back in shape. Mike always had that power. That's something you got to know. Next, on Evander's jaw. Evander's 57 years old. And if you listen to legs, same. The chin is the same. Are not there as they were. This is not a fight that's going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds. It's going to go 2 or 3 rounds. Somebody's going to take somebody out.
So before you talk about your comebacks, I want to talk about one other fighter. I don't know the age, but he's probably 50, 51. Oscar De La Hoya and Conor McGregor from MMA, UFC fame. Looks like they're starting to chirp against each other, and looks like McGregor does anything for money there. He fought Floyd Mayweather, got billions of dollars or whatever. Now he wants to take on De La Hoya.
Well, De La Hoya said, it all started with De La Hoya saying during the interview that he could knock Conor McGregor out in a few rounds. And Conor McGregor took that as a challenge. Now, apparently, I think Dana White would love to see this. And Oscar is also, remember, Oscar is also a great promoter.
Yeah.
He's promoted some great fights. My feeling is Oscar says he didn't challenge him. He just said what was on his mind. Oscar and Dana have been feuding for years. But let me say this. Oscar hasn't fought in a long time. But it's in a boxing ring, and Oscar's in shape. I don't think that Conor's got a chance. Oscar's a better puncher, a much better puncher than Mayweather was. Not a greater fighter, just a much better puncher. And let's face it, McGregor is not a boxer.
So that's the question I wanted to ask you. Since I got you here and we're talking about Conor McGregor, his fight with Floyd Mayweather, did he impress you in a boxing ring?
Not overly, but he surprised me.
How so?
By going that long with Mayweather. Some people suggest Mayweather carrying him. I don't think so. But he has ups before, but he did not move and deliver like a boxer, a slip slide counter. He didn't do those things, and he got caught a lot. But taking a 40-year-old Floyd Mayweather into the I believe it was the final round, that impressed me, surprised me. But Oscar De La Hoya, he got a shot. Trust me, he's not. He ever did fight him, he would be in tremendous shape. And I believe he would take Conor out. Anybody that could punch, would take him out.
Okay, so you're watching and listening to the Spider's Web here on Zingo TV, BarnBurner TV Network, channel 250. Remember to download the app. Download our app, the BarnBurner app, available on iOS and Android. Just go to the respective store, search BarnBurner, download it today. While you download it, rate it, make a comment. Just get it. All right, Spider, it's time to give your greatest comebacks. So I should have a drum roll here, but start off with number 10. Go ahead, Spider.
Well, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, I didn't really this time. I just want to talk about some of the greatest comebacks in boxing that I have ever seen. And, and you can watch all these that I talk about. You can see them on YouTube because they're there. You know what I mean? They're there.
Yep.
One of the ones that really impressed me the most, I guess of all time, George Foreman versus Michael Moore. Because George Foreman, he was 45 years old. And let's face it, at 45 years old, you're fighting a guy that's probably in his late 30s, late 20s. And Michael Moore is southpaw in a fight. And I got to tell you something. Moore was beating the tar out of Foreman, and nobody gave Foreman a chance. Michael Moore was being trained by none other than, if I'm not mistaken, it was either I thought Manny Stewart, but it could have been Atlas. One of the two.
Are you sure? I'm recalling Duva.
No, Lou Duva wasn't. Lou Duva wasn't in had nothing to do with Michael Moore.
Okay.
I believe it was. Michael Moore started with Emmanuel Stewart. And anyway, and you know who was in George Foreman's corner? Angelo Dundee, the great Angelo Dundee, who trained, who was in Muhammad Ali's corner when Muhammad Ali stopped George in the 8th round to recapture his title. I believe that was the second time, yes. And so nobody gave Foreman a chance. He'd already been beaten by Tommy Morrison.
Tommy Morrison, yeah, Tommy Morrison. So, Machine Gun Morrison.
So George comes back and knocks him out.
Yeah.
And knocks him out. It was just, I couldn't believe it. And anybody can. That's one of the great fights because George basically looked like he didn't have the hammer on the heel. Oh, just puffed up. But this guy showed a lot of. Bob Moore, and so I call that one of the greatest comebacks of all time. Another one was a guy by the name of Sugar Ray Robinson. He fought a guy named Jim Bowman. Bowman was from Utah. We called him the Fighting Foreman. Chin, probably almost as strong as Jake Lamont. To the best chance. This guy had almost beating everything. 38 years. And he was way behind. He catches Homer with his left hook. And bang! Just like that. And that was probably fourth or fifth time that Robinson captured midway 38. Captured 6 times. 5 times. And Robinson.
Yeah.
That was one of the great comebacks. I could say another comeback. Robinson title prior to that in New England, Turkey. Turkey was the British champ. Very awesome fighter. Very good puncher. He beat Rob in London. And so quite work and Robertson to bring the title back. And in that fight, no, it wasn't. It might have been. Right. Thompson had a bad cut. The referee, I remember watching this on YouTube. I don't saw this in person. Robinson recaptured his title. This shows we call him one of the great. This comeback.
So that brings we'll continue on with your greatest comebacks, but let me ask you this. Some guys are notorious. They need to get some shots, some shots to sort of wake up and force a comeback. Why is it that some boxers need to get hit to sort of, okay, now I'm in a fight? And then some people like Tyson go in, do the job, get out. But some guys want to get hit, want to be making this a fight.
No, I think that's mental. Tyson's just a natural born. He's probably one of the most tenacious fighters of all time. That's just his man. Some guys they come into the ring and they're slow starters. So they can feel the other guy out, tie him up, and then just see how strong he is, feel his power, his speed. What's the next move? It's like a chess game. It is if somebody when our house was a slow starter, but as I progressed, bam. Ali was never a fast starter. That was just a smart boxer.
Yeah.
Take your time, and then sometimes you have to hit a guy, and hey man, I better start hitting back. It's all in the mental. Some guys are just like Sonny Liston. You come up and turn your head off. Marciano was a good Marciano. I mean, one of the greatest coaches. We talk about that too, but Marciano more comebacks than anybody I know because in many of his fights he was being beaten, but he just waited and bided his time and waited for his one shot. His right hand was devastating. He called it old Susie Q. And when he hit you with that right hand, generally it was over.
All right, Spider, I got a question here from a fan. His name is Sean Spear. And Sean wants to know, hey, Spider, nice to see you back on the airwaves. I miss you greatly, it says. But he wants to know, can you tell him the difference between a right-handed boxer and a left-handed boxer, a southpaw, and why do everybody in the boxing game say the southpaw has the advantage? Again, it's from Sean Spear.
Because the average fighter, most fighters are left jabs. So they use the right hand for power. Now the southpaw is a direct switch. He uses his right hand to jab and his left hand is power. So now you got to fight him different because the southpaw is not jabbing you. Programmed to slip a left and counter. You understand what I mean? But the guy is now using the right jab. So now you've got to learn how to fire a lot of right hands up to the middle. You got to move different. It's different. A lot of people don't like fighting southpaw, like Marvin Hagler. They were tough to fight, man. They're very difficult. It's like when you're training for a race to run 2 miles, and then you got to run 3. You better know what you're doing. It's just totally. It's in training. I don't think I trained with some southpaw, as an amateur, and I found them difficult. You have to counterclockwise and try to throw a lot of right hands. That's what you do. And that's what the readers tell me. That's why people they don't want to fight it southpaw unless they have to.
All right, so here's another. We're getting a lot of questions today, so that's good. Stephen Ace. I don't know if that's the real name, saying in boxing coming up, they wear headgear, and when they get to the professional game, they don't wear headgear. Any symbolism why they don't wear headgear in the professional game?
Well, as an amateur, to tell you the truth, I fought some amateur fights and also trained a lot with fighters, and you always because fighting is a tough thing to get pounded in the head. Because the amateur fighter is the safety of a fighter. It's a totally different game than the pros. And but amateurs now are fighting without headgear in big tournaments, in world class tournaments. They're fighting without headgear now. They're going back to fighting without headgear. But it's a protective measure. As far as George, these chaps, the heavy belt they put around my waist. If not, he just ripped it apart. He's just too big and strong. And easy on me, guard me. You have that protective, boxing stuff, just like it works. And so they got to protect you as an amateur. Different people don't want to see pros. Pros, you look at them more like gladiators. These are men. They're not children anymore. These are men that are fighting for money and they're paid to take those chances. Unfortunately, I know a lot of fighters older than I that have now pugilistic dementia because of their all the shots they took over. I that kind of fight. It's a very difficult, tough game.
Okay, so we got one more question here, and this is a question that I actually wanted to know for the longest time. Okay, this comes from Brian Rossman, and Brian wants to know, these judges, how do you get to be a judge first and stay being a judge for so long in the boxing game? And that's a very good question. How do they select judges? And then these judges are in there for 30, 40 years.
It depends on the jurisdiction you're in. I mean, everybody has the New York Boxing Commission, the New Jersey Boxing Commission, the Ontario Boxing Commission. You've got all these different things. But I know the guys that judge here. I've known some. Terry Davis was a referee in Denver. Terry Davis in the 90s, and he still judged. Many of them were ex-fighters, but it depends on what you do. I have a guy like Donovan Boucher, who was a Canadian fighter, the referee and the judge. Mark Simmons is way. These guys are officials. They have to take courses. Become a referee and judge. You have to know all the information these days. So judging is much better than it was. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of judges that do bad things. Rob a guy in the fight. It depends on who's on your bought by the fight game isn't. You have to have some experience in the fight game or have contacts in the fight game.
All right. Our final one more just came in here, and it's from a lady. That's why I'm going to read it, because we don't get usually ladies. Stacy Lewis saying, I'll just paraphrase because this is a long one. Basically, ladies in sports, they're getting their due there. There's ladies hockey, there's, ladies basketball and all that. When is ladies boxing going to catch on like ladies hockey and basketball does? Thank you for your question, by the way.
That's a tough question to answer because when you look at it, and I say this without offending anyone, hopefully, it has a ladies basketball and ladies soccer and women's sports have not caught on. The old boys run the sports networks, and they just don't. I mean, someone like Don Cherry, you see, he always women's hockey, but that's just one person who can use their influence. It has to be promoted bring their husbands out. I call some female fights in Ontario.
Okay.
It's going to take a long time. Why isn't it caught on that shirt? When we got on some time ago, I'm watching this fight with Razor's daughter, and that was only captured here because of the Razor fighting Alex. But the promotions in there, really, the promoting, they need, when you get promotions like that, you need public relations people. We have so many people, great hockey players. You know, I've had them on the great athletes, same attention, give as much. They sacrifice. So why should they? Show me still in there. Meanwhile, they don't want to.
There's one more just coming through. I'm sorry. Today we're getting bombarded with emails, so it's good. They're watching us and everything. Ben Smith, he wants to know simply your thoughts on Don King.
Don King, what I can say about Don King, I've been personally a couple times. He was here for a conference I went in Vegas once when I was in Tyson Village. And I remember him, but I can tell you this. He's probably one of the greatest promoters of all time. I've never dealt with him personally. You hear all kinds of things, but you know what? I don't want That's what I think of Don King. I really served time for so Don King, to say, you know, I know that a lot of people feel Mike Tyson, and a lot of guys that didn't deal with it, they didn't want it, they might. And when Lennox Luke did, there was money up front. Money, smart people, you know, a lot of people. So, and he played the face card a lot. And Jason Don King, that wasn't because Jason Tyson, that wasn't good.
All right. So I have a question here, and I'm sure everybody knows you as, Spider Jones, a king of boxing there and all that. But today, 2020, forget about COVID for a second. What would you do to change the boxing game to make it where it was before? It was top. No, everybody was looking forward to basically once a month a fight, a main event fight, or something we didn't see. Now, if we get a main fight once a year, it's something. So what would you do to change to get boxing in the circles where it once was?
Well, let's just take the Ontario scene. We have a group of people that are promoting every 3 or 4, maybe 5 months out at the Gatorade Center or the I don't know, see that still called it. Change the name, I'm not sure. But you have to promote fights in the local level at least once a month. People got to know there's a fight. On the national level, free television. Cut out a contract if you can. But boxing has been tarnished so many times that a lot of great corporations and sponsors don't want to go behind it. You got crooked promoters and people giving monsters giving in the game. These people don't want to go near it anymore. So the thing is, you don't have the chance to watch these young fighters involved. You get to know them by the name on television. They have to be televised. Like, we grew up in a different time. I don't think it'll ever get back to that normal again. Money, money, money. It was at fights were on 3 nights in my area. We had 3 night fights, Saturday night fights, and Detroit had Monday night guys. So you can see all these guys, and then they got their championship. Solid. And a lot of them still don't see that. Full circuit. Bobby, they would sell things pretty much out just to watch those fights.
Closed circuit TV. Everybody was on closed circuit TV.
Because they knew the fighters. Nobody, if you ask me right now, I'm not the king of boxing. There was a time when I looked at boxing and I followed boxing, an amateur right up. I still follow some amateur boxing. To tell you the truth, it's not the same anymore. I don't get excited anymore. I think I can take my champion of the world is. I can tell you something. I do anymore. I don't feel like I used to.
And there's lack of new stars there, right? Before it used to be like a pipeline of everybody. Now, I'll ask you, where's the new stars in boxing? They probably said they're not going to boxing. They're going to go to mixed martial arts.
They're going to go to mixed martial arts. Many of the big black guys that could have potential boxers going to football. They're going to other sports. And a lot of them go to martial arts too. Guys that could have been great fighters. McGregor probably great fighter.
Yeah.
If you train for boxing, but you see, you can't be the master of all the fighters. You know, you in the UFC, they learn how to wrestle, they learn judo, they learn grappling, and then striking, but they're not just doing one thing.
Yeah, bobbing and weaving. That's it.
So just not there anymore. But a lot of it is and they just don't have it. I think don't make it. May never come back to normal. Otherwise,
So do you think the heyday of boxing is history?
I hate to say it, but I think it is. I think we're still going to see some great fights, but people aren't going to. I see a Sugar Ray Leonard come to Muhammad Ali. I had to see somebody that's exciting. I remember the Hilton boys. I remember when Matt Hilton fought. He was exciting to watch, and Arturo Gatti. We need people like that, but those people were exposed. I remember watching Arturo Gatti, not Arturo Gatti, but Matthew Hilton on television. Beat Buster Drayton for the I believe his light by the way. I saw him beat Benito. We watched these fights.
Yeah.
I watched on TV when he beat all these fighters. I watched Floyd Patterson. I don't see this. Sometimes GSN is showing up on the fight. He's carrying it live. Unless you pay, and we're talking dollars to pay for a fight. The average Joe can't afford it. We're not going to come like that. So they don't know. I don't get excited. And I'm moving until I see somebody like has. They haven't, so many fighters that have that. They have that charisma, that style, and they a lot more than twice a year.
And that's why, believe it or not, the only hope boxing has for somebody to talk about it is what we talked about now. A 57-year-old, a 53-year-old The other person you said, I think he's 48. You know, like the sweet science was built on guys 25 to 35, let's say, not guys 55 to 60.
18, 19, 20 years old, kids from the projects, kids were hungry, kids that came out of England, Scotland, Ireland, very good. These kids came from nothing. They were hungry. Kids that came out of New York, Chicago, Philly, Detroit, these kids, Los Angeles, Montreal. These kids had nothing. They were hungry. And they were training at 18, 19, 20 years old. For that big fight, and they weren't ducking each other. And so you saw the greatest fighters. You're not seeing that anymore. I mean,
How many, like honestly, now, before there was a boatload of fighters. Now, in let's say any division, how many contenders do you have? You maybe have 2 people in every division. You don't have a boatload of 10, 15 contenders. Can you honestly tell me? Can you honestly tell me a top 10 list in heavyweights, a top 10 list in middleweight, a top 10 list? I don't think there's 10 people combined.
Well, I remember back in the day, we stand in the corner trying to stump each other on the contenders, and I knew them all. I knew that the champion of the world was Rocky Marciano. I knew the light heavyweight champion of the world was Archie Moore. I knew the middleweight champion of the world was Sugar Ray Robinson. I knew the welterweight champion of the world at the time was Carmen Basilio. And I knew the lightweight champion of the world, Carlos Ortiz, and all of these guys. I went on the featherweight champion, Sandy Sadler, and then Willie Pep. These were great players. I remember champions. You could talk about them, and they were like gods. They were like icons. They were like legends. This is why Mike Tyson is still so popular, because he's an icon. And Evander is an icon. These are the last of the great warriors.
And what's troubling to me, and maybe I could get your take on this. Okay, Mike Tyson, Holyfield, American, and heavyweights. But where's the light heavyweight Mexicans and Cubans? You don't hear from them no more.
You don't, because of TV, but they're there. They still fill in. If you go to the Staples Center in LA, you'll see that the Hispanic crowd come out there, the Puerto Ricans, and man, they jam them places. I mean, they're jammed. You see the same thing in Vegas. You'll come out for them fights, they're jammed, but it's not the same. You don't see them on TV. These guys follow their own. They come out and follow them. I've been to great boxing tournaments, amateur tournaments here. You can't find the places have. They don't come out to support them the way they should. Boxing culture here, right? We have Family Cup and all kinds of different Golden Glove tournaments and things out there. Boxing is surviving very well on amateur level, but that's not a money level. For some reason, these guys go to full ranks outside of the Olympics and the World Championships. You don't get anything.
And that's the
good afternoon, I'm Howard Castell. Today we come to you from these Los Angeles Forum with the fun, and then you got Shredder, Randall, Leonard. I mean, these guys, man, they follow the Olympic teams, the dream teams. I remember the dream team, and I remember the Olympics when Joe Frazier won the Olympic gold. I remember when Muhammad Ali won the light heavyweight gold medal. I remember that stuff, and we just, boxing was a part of the mainstream conversation. And I could tell because you were in places with Shigala, he's like an iconic figure. And I've had the honor of being around him for many years, and he just, people just, how would you say that people gravitate towards him. They don't beat around the wall.
like a magnet. He was a magnet because
you see the big names are always there. Jack Nicholson. I've seen Sylvester Stallone. I've seen all the guys.
and here's the other thing where boxing was equivalent, if you're going to put it like wrestling, because they were showmen. Muhammad Ali, sting like a butterfly, float like a bee, or what? Sting, you know what I mean? There were promos, and catching, fans could catch them. Now, forget about, there's not enough boxers, not enough on TV. You don't know their characters, and there's nobody saying, okay, like, how to build a fight. When they do wrestling, they build the character. When even in UFC, Conor McGregor, be it he's a good fighter or not, he talks the big game. Now in boxing, there's no big game talkers.
He talked his way into that. He made $60-70 million off that fight with Mayweather. He talked his way into it. That's smart. He's a lot of people hate him. They want to see him get his butt kicked, but a lot of people want to see Mayweather get his butt handed to him too. I mean, but they created an interest through trash talking. Some of the greats I know, people, Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, they were humble. They talk like that. Foreman would talk like that. The guys are just tough. I personally take talking because I know and he gave a lot. Some of these guys, but it's part of the game. It was a promoter's dream. He could talk trash and
All right. Well, we got a few minutes left here on the Spider's Web, BarnBurner TV Network, Zingo TV Channel 250. All right, Spider, do you have any more comebacks as we close it out here?
Great comebacks. They won the title. Because going into the 13th round, he was way behind. Jersey Joe Walcott simply outclassed him, just completely outboxed him. And it looked like it appeared that the Rock was just this was his fight for the heavyweight champion. He was going after the title, and Walcott was the real champion. Walcott was 38 years old. That's old for a fighter, but he's still tremendously skilled with a lot of power. And then Rocky in the 13th round, crushing right hand he drove around and won the heavyweight championship of the world. That to me is one of the moves. So that was a great comeback because he was really nice. So that's one of my great comebacks.
Any more, Spider? And any one or two more? We got a few minutes left.
Archie Moore. Montreal, he fought as a Canadian light heavyweight champion, a guy named Yvonne Durrell. They called him Fighting Fisherman. And in the first round, I don't know how many times Moore went down. I remember watching that fight before 1959. It was free TV. Archie Moore was a light heavyweight champion of the world. They used to call him the old mongoose because he was slick. And I mean, Durrell was hammering him. He went down a combination of 7 times in the fight.
Wow.
And it came back to knock out Durrell. And I remember interviewing Durrell years later. And I asked him, what happened? I said, you had him beat. Well said. That was one of the great comebacks in Archie looked like. And then there was Weaver and John Tate. And John Tate and going into the last, I believe it was the 15th round, yeah.
Wow.
John Tate was all over Mike Weaver. And Mike Weaver, they called him Hercules, and that beautiful physique. And in the 15th round, bam, Mike Weaver hit him. There's one more. Mike Weaver hit him with the left hook and took him out and won the title. One more I forgot. Julio Cesar Chavez in his fight against Mildred Taylor. Into the last round, there was 2 or 3 in the fight. We stopped it because Chavez, that was a huge comeback. JC one of the fighters to me, and he just and Mildred Taylor was just a tremendous fighter with great skills. That to me is one of the greatest comebacks of all time because there was only 2 seconds left.
Oh, wow.
He'll stop the fight. Mildred Taylor was out on his feet. So I call that one of the greatest comebacks. But I'll say number 1 overall to me was George Foreman over Michael Moore.
All right. So as we close out this, I'm going to switch it from boxing to basketball. Today, be it May 12th, last year, do you remember what happened last year on May 12th today?
Was that when the Raptors won rings?
All right, so I'll give you a hint. Clank, 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 in. That's Kawhi Leonard's shot over the 76ers to get them for the first time to the Eastern Conference Finals. Could you believe that? Against the 76ers, a last-second shot, 2001, number 15 for the Raptors, Vince Carter, clank, and it went out. But this one, 4 times, clank, 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 boom, and everybody went crazy here in Toronto.
It's a big controversial whether they should retire his number or not. And I remember being everybody kept saying, I don't know what's but by the same token, he was here 1 year. So I think so he only stayed 1 year, but he got us more than we ever had before. So but the mother after remember what he did because he's a warrior.
Yeah, that's Kawhi Leonard, of course, he wanted to go home and play, and you never know. He talks to Masai Ujiri quite often, so I'm not saying he's coming back, but you never know in this funny world of sports there.
From what I heard and read, I didn't talk to the man, so I don't know. From what I've heard and read, he's one of my phone, and I understand. I know back in the day, when I was a fan by night, there were many times I talked to basketball players, and I would tell you things that you missed about. They came here, the money was right, the lights on, some of them just didn't feel like they missed their own culture.
That's it. So, all right, Spider. So as we close it out, tell everybody how to get a hold of you, and we'll be back here next Tuesday, 3 p.m. on the BarnBurner TV Network. Go ahead, Spider.
Reach me at SpiderJones@Rogers.com anytime. SpiderJones at Rogers.com, and I actually want to come up with something you'd like to talk about. Your greatest comeback that you think of all time. We should do that on team sometime too. We still haven't put together our greatest baseball team. We were going to do that this week, but I thought.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about baseball. In fact, baseball came out with they're coming back and they're playing 82 games. 14 teams will be in the playoffs. We'll discuss that next week here because you know what, Spider? Sports is coming back. Sports is coming back.
There's nothing to me more relaxing than sitting in a baseball, sitting in a stadium. But I miss some of the old days. It's going to take a while after I lost a little interest after they traded out Josh Donaldson. I just, and then I think I just kind of lost a little interest in the team. But I love the game. We'll talk about that next week. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, you can watch baseball, you can watch boxing, you watch it all. I'll just chase after the ring card girls, okay? So that's it. I'll chase after the ring card girls. You watch it all, and I'll bring you the beer or whatever. You just watch it. I'll chase after ring card girls there. All right, for Spider Jones, this is Joe Pasek. on the BarnBurner TV Network here on Zingo TV Channel 250. All right, you've been watching and listening to the Spider's Web featuring Spider Jones. Thanks